Hi there, Dr. Gary here on the road. We sell dental practices nationwide. We are dental practice brokers. I was a dentist for 25 years and doing the dental practice brokerage for 15. Today's topic is buyer of a dental office gives up a lifetime opportunity for $162,000. Let's talk about that. Before we get into that, as you know, we now have 10 employees. We're in 25 states, and we continue to work 362 days a year, 63 days a year, and enjoying every day. We do enjoy what we do. I'm never going to retire. So, we have also 2 CPA accountants, marketing director, operations director, and several development acquisition employees. So we're more than happy to work with you. If you need advice, call us anytime, 201-663-0935, or our website at dentalpracticeguide.com, or also, you can call or look up nationwide dentalpracticebrokers.com. So just check us out. We'd be happy to give you information. Give us a call. Have a chat with you. No charge. If you want evaluation of your practice, we'll talk to you. We don't, the information you're about to hear is for entertainment purposes. It is not legal advice or business advice. So anyway, if you also are thinking about selling your office, you have a larger office, $1 million plus, 5 operatories plus, willing to stay on, we may have one of the DSOs that are interested in you. And often, we know who the best ones are. I work with over 140 across the United States. We know who the best ones are. So give us a call. We'll be more than happy to give you inside information on them. Often when I work with them, there is no commission to the seller because I'll often pay my commission, the DSO will. In addition, we have, in addition to that, all practices that sell over $1 million, we will reimburse based on minor criteria. We'll reimburse the seller's legal fees. We've done that quite often, based on some small criteria. But you should take advantage of that. If it goes to closing over $1 million, seller attorney fees will be often reimbursed. So anyway, what did this doctor do? The buyer gives up about 160 some odd thousand, gives it all up for the opportunity of a lifetime. This is a $1 million plus practice. The associate knew the practice well, had worked there in the past, knew the employees, and it was a shoo-in, you know. And the seller felt, well, he worked all his life, or she worked all their life. Why should I'd like to get top dollar and sell the real estate. So it was first offered to the associate who worked there. And although the associate could have received financing 100%, and not everything for the real estate, but a good portion of it, the associate say, no, I'm sticking to my guns. I'm not offering that much money. And okay, all due respect to the associate, make whatever choice he wants or she wants. So what happens is we had 2 other buyers. They came in and they offered a little more than the associate did, about $160,000 worth. How percentage-wise? Maybe 10% more, 8% more, somewhere around there. The associate said it's too expensive. I'm not buying it. So the new buyer went in there. He's doing fantastic. I think they grossed over $100,000 last month. Just this last month, just one doctor. Not the whole office. They're probably over 150, 60,000. So I believe, it is my understanding, this buyer that walked away for that $162,000 difference is getting some regrets now. Because when you can work in a practice and you know the staff, and you know how the practice operates, when you can work there before purchasing, that's an ideal situation. Generally, that doesn't happen with the majority of my sellers because they don't want anybody coming in. They don't want to tip their hand that the office may be for sale to the employees. So it rarely happens. You really don't want to be in a situation. Now the associate has to sign a restrictive covenant. It's all kinds of things. And then if you continue to bring other people, they say, well, who's he and she, or who's that associate, he or she? And what are you going to say? Oh, they're an associate just working there. Why aren't they buying is the question. You know, that type of thing. You want to get away from that. So this buyer had a great opportunity. She had the opportunity to work there and know all the staff and everything that's going on. I mean, she had an inside track. So you would think, how are you going to lose in a situation like that? But the associate said, no, too expensive. I'm not buying it. I don't know. Once again, I think the associate regrets it. The other person came in. Do you hold out for 8 or 10% more, or 7% more? Should you hold out and stick to your guns when you know a practice that well and you've worked there before? I don't think so. Why? Because in this business, you can make up the difference because you're buying in an ongoing business. So it essentially means for maybe a couple of months or half a year, let's say, or even a year, you're making less profit. Okay, but what if you don't buy the practice and you walk away? Then you're stuck back with really no future working for somebody else, even if they promised you an associateship or a partnership. What do you have? You have nothing. You have no equity. You have no write-offs. And when you work for somebody else, you lose 25% of your income because you don't have the proper write-offs that a self-employed businessman could use. So you always got to think about that. If I miss this opportunity, when is the next one coming along? And how long would it have taken me to find the next opportunity that I like? Remember, every practice you're going to buy has something wrong with it. There's always a quirk. It could be price, it could be location, it could be equipment, it could be the insurance, it could be you don't like the office manager. I don't know. There's always something. So really you should keep that in mind. This associate, my analysis, should not have walked away. No way. Not for 8 or 10%. No way. And sometimes you have to learn a hard lesson. You know? But just remember, you're not going to have that many opportunities to buy a practice that you've worked in, that you know everybody there. Secondly, if you walk away, you got to figure, how long will it take me to find another one like that? How long will it take me? And could I have made up the difference which I was unwilling to pay in profit? Could I have done that? So that's an important question to ask. And often people just play it too tight, especially nowadays. The banks are financing everything, and the default rate of a dentist is so low anyway. What does it matter? You know, you're not going to fail. So anyway, I am going swimming, getting ready for the dental school reunion, and I'm excited. We're going to be in Washington, D.C., and we have we're going to be in the Watergate Hotel. I'm really excited about this. And we reserved the presidential suite. This thing is unbelievable. 2,000 square feet. I mean, boy, has 2 balconies, one looking over the Potomac, the other looking over Georgetown. When I went to school in Washington, I would pass this all the time, and I'd go bike ride, and I always look up there because it was the famous Watergate. I never thought I'd be getting the presidential suite in there for my dental school reunion. This is really exciting. All right, team, you take care now. Having a great time. I'll take some pictures of our reunion and send them to you. Bye now.